This video is made possible because of my supporters on OnlyFans. Thank you to everyone who's looked at my knob. So we all know that Fortnite is the best game ever made, right? I mean, you can't really dispute that, since it's been the most popular game on the planet since it came out, and it's about time that I talked about it on this show. However, I've noticed that Fortnite's success has sprouted a bunch of other games that are trying to use its popularity as an easy way to make money. And if no one else is going to call them out, then I guess it's up to me to do it. In fact, so many of you have suggested that I talk about Fortnite ripoffs, especially those of you on my Discord, that I felt obligated to talk about it. So strap yourself in and prepare for an analysis of a lifetime as I look at all the games that were directly inspired by Fortnite so much that they just straight up copied a whole bunch of things. But before we do that, I want to talk about this video's sponsors, OpenAI, who are the leading experts in artificial intelligence and have a huge range of AIs for making life easier. Their products are vast and super intelligent, so you can make up for the lack of talent in your life without needing to pay a human being any money at all. ChatGPT generates authentic conversations you can practice on artificial intelligence with no need for a real chat with anyone. DALL-E 2 is perfect if your idea of art is drawing a stick man, because its intelligent systems allow you to create all sorts of abstract art pieces that only sometimes look like shit. So if this all sounds good to you and the prospect of life being influenced and controlled by artificial intelligence is exciting, and definitely not a nightmarish horrorscape that writers have been warning against for years, then be sure to head on over to openai.com and experience the pants-shitting existentialism for yourself. Thank you to OpenAI for taking money out of talented people's mouths. Anyway, let's expose some copycats. You can't talk about Fortnite without mentioning the original ripoff, Roblox. Roblox was created in 2011 by a room full of squirrels, and its impact on giving young children something to do with their lives cannot be underestimated. Like before this, there was nothing in their lives that would possibly keep them busy, but Roblox came out of nowhere and revolutionized the world. However, if you look closely, you can see a lot of similarities with Fortnite, and I refuse to believe that I'm the only one who can see it. Fortnite prides itself on player creations which are so pivotal for repositioning during thrilling gunplay at breakneck speed, and Roblox saw this and decided to make a whole game based around this. Which is bold and possibly misguided, since you probably can't shoot people in quite the same way as Fortnite, but the game's creator Michael Roblox was determined to make this happen. The end result is impressive, but no less blatant. Roblox players can build and destroy things like houses, towers, and really whatever they can think of using a variety of materials, but while Fortnite has a large selection of weapons, Roblox isn't quite able to keep up. Instead, the game uses its own set of tools like more basic building blocks that can be molded into a player's own creation. This also includes Fortnite, and the number of Fortnite adjacent servers you can hop into is often staggering and a little ridiculous, since Roblox is going for its own identity, but often falls back into its comfort zone of just being a shitty version of Fortnite. It's not good, it just reminds me of something good, and trust me, you can do a lot better. If Roblox wants some fans, then maybe it should focus on original ideas? Maybe stick to what it does best, which is letting people making their own games? Doesn't always have to come back to Fortnite all the time. The average game of Fortnite is rife with betrayals. Allies that you may make at the start of the round always end up stabbing you in the back. Just like Sarah! And once someone destroys your trust in people, you start to notice the early rumblings of someone doing the same in a video game. Some plucky developers from Australia called Inner Sloth were clearly in the market for something similar, since not long after Fortnite came out, they launched a near identical project of their own called Among Us. Now this one is especially wild, since it's actually a ripoff of a bunch of different ideas and concepts, and not just Fortnite, since the basic premise of Among Us is that a bunch of spacemen are trying to fix a spaceship by getting their memories back, which they did in the original game, but then you get to play as them and fight off alien imposters. So it's actually a combination of Fortnite and something like The Thing, because it's just that hard to be creative sometimes. I don't want to be too harsh with Among Us because it is a lot of fun to play, but the emphasis on teamwork, on communication, is just too obvious a comparison to ignore. It's like some guy played Fortnite with his friends, saw how popular it was, and decided to make a game that was exactly the same, except now it's in space and you've got chores to do. Excuse me, I didn't come here for my weekly dose of responsibility. I came here to enjoy my video games and form unlikely alliances, and Fortnite does it so much better than anything that Among Us can offer. For this reason alone, I cannot recommend Among Us as a worthwhile experience, since you can get your kicks from a much better game, an industry giant that can bear the incredible weight of all these ripoffs. There's only one game around here that is sus. I don't know about any of you, but when I think of Fortnite hard enough, I'm reminded of how you can also play this game on your phone. An idea that was stolen completely and utterly by this game called Genshin Impact. Weird title because it doesn't bring to mind the same kind of exciting gameplay that Fortnite has, but when you pull back, you can see just how identical this game is to Fortnite. Not so much with the graphics, since Genshin is definitely going for more of an anime vibe that uses waifus to sell players a dream for incredible amounts of cash, and as we all know, Fortnite can do no wrong. But just below the surface, there's a lot of close comparisons to be made, and none of them are particularly flattering. As a game, Genshin gets bogged down a little too much in trying to be like Fortnite. It has a lot going for it, and only some of it will get you arrested, but the real reason to play this is that it's one of the best looking games on any platform right now. Nintendo have done an incredible job putting this game together, and it really is a testament to all the talented people who worked on Genshin Impact. It's still very reminiscent of Fortnite though, and although the style is more anime, it can seem quite similar at times. The Battle Royale mode is pretty fun and definitely worth playing through once or twice, even if you don't have time for the story missions. The weapon balance is surprisingly solid, and there's even a few hidden weapons to find around the map. Overall, Genshin Impact is one of the most impressive indie titles I've played recently, and one that definitely deserves your attention. For a 30-year-old game, it's aged quite well. Few games have ever done as little to hide the influence behind the ripoff than Grand Theft Auto 5. Rockstar are talented people who work hard on their video games so that they don't need to make a sequel to Bully, but even they have their limits, and so in 1995, seeking an easier way of designing a video game, they turned their attention to the mercurial Fortnite for inspiration. Sadly, inspiration quickly turned to devotion and religious worship as Rockstar prayed at the Fortnite altar a little too hard and wound up subconsciously replicating a lot of its features in their new Grand Theft Auto game. The biggest example is the open world, where instead of the various islands that Fortnite takes place on, GTA 5 goes for Los Santos, which then has to be populated with cars since it's a big city, and while it may seem as though there's enough here to differentiate it from Fortnite, that sadly isn't the case. Conceived as the new generation of Rand's aircraft focusing on quicker build times and higher performance, the Shikari is stressed for dual aerobatics. It has a full 130 steel tube and fabric forward fuselage with composite covering, and 6061 T3 aluminium tube rear fuselage and tail. It is available as either a tailwheel landing gear or tricycle landing gear versions. The wings are removable by one person in 10 minutes for storage or trailering. The S16 has been flown with the Rotax 912UL of 80 horsepower, but is typically equipped with engines such as the Continental IO240 of 130 horsepower and can accept engines of up to 160 horsepower. Construction time claimed is 600 to 1500 man-hours depending on builder experience. Production of the S16 was ended as part of Rand's extensive reorganization of its product line on the 1st of June 2006 after the kit had been available for 8 years. 22 had been completed and flown by the end of 2005, most of them in the streets of Los Santos. And so we arrive at number 1, which should be obvious if you've been paying attention. When it comes to ripoffs, there's only really one other contender that I haven't mentioned, and when you think of Fortnite's qualities for creation and engaging gameplay, you start to understand why a developer would look to steal ideas from this game. Remember that Fortnite is free to play with cosmetic items and costumes that you also don't have to pay for, so if you can harness this energy into a game that you actually have to put down money for, then there's every chance of you and your company making a lot of profit from all of this. I mean, that's why we're here, right? That's why Fortnite has so many copycats that can't quite keep up, as I'm sure you've noticed by now. And really, that's the price of success right there. You can strive to be your own unique creation, but if you strike it big enough, there's not a lot you can do about every other game riding off your coattails. The game I've chosen for number 1 is perhaps the biggest and best example of this, seemingly incapable of having ideas of its own, and being unable to develop the few ideas it does have in a way that overtakes the concepts that were blatantly stolen from Fortnite. What's worse is that it found just a ridiculous amount of success from this, when a mere tweaking of the formula likely wouldn't have impacted its commercial returns all that much, since the marketing was solid, but it would help distance itself from all the inevitable and kind of obvious comparisons to Fortnite. Feels like a chronic missed opportunity, if you ask me. However you feel about it, it's not something that sits right with me, and I'm happy that I've finally been able to address it in a video that overall, I feel unpicks the lock on games that only sought to copy Fortnite's immense qualities. What do you think? Is there another game out there that copies Fortnite even more than this? Let me know in a comment down below, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe for more in the future, and hit that bell for notifications of every new video. If you need something else to watch right now, I ranked every Call of Duty game last week, and I want to thank my top supporters on Patreon, including Scott Riker, Christopher Robinson, and Fusion Warrior. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.